An M5 solar flare erupted from our solar disk today from region 4436. This is growing in size and it's a newly developing region, previously 4419. This looks to be a full halo CME, as you can see that plasma erupting from that sunspot region, and it is active and developing, still continuously throwing us some C-class flares, that M-class flare. This region is newly developing on our sun. As you can see, it's coming into play. And also notice that there is nothing around it. Actually, that region is completely surrounded by a coronal hole, which is an opening into the sun's corona, and it's highly developed plasma, highly magnetized, and it creates these solar wind speed streams. So we can get really large effects from even smaller solar flares, or solar flares that aren't really even in our Earth direction. It can transport it into our direction. So keep that in mind. This region is in beta and gamma range. It's going up in the number of sunspots, but it's pretty small in size and actually is going down in size because of that eruption. But if you look, our proton percentage is at a 5%. So if we do have more solar flares from this, and I think we may because it is growing, we're going to see that proton percentage take effect. We can get solar radiation storms from that. So we have to watch this region, especially because it's new. Also look at that X flare percentage. So it is developing more. We are seeing complexity here, so that number and probability is higher. But a pretty big eruption from a smaller region developing. If we look again at our sun, there is another region that is heading off of the western limb. It is 4432 and it is getting spicy. This region is definitely more complex than the other one, definitely larger in size as well. And you can see that we have these spots here that are developing in the intermediate region, which makes it a little bit dangerous. But since it is heading off of the western limb of the sun, we won't have too much of an effect. But remember, even though it's far-sighted, we have seen effects where it does head our way and we get some sort of glancing blow. So keep that in mind. Like I mentioned earlier, look at these coronal holes that are developing. Again, number 53 coronal hole. And that's only 53 out of solar cycle 25. So these coronal holes are more of a problem sometimes than these developing active regions. So they both play different parts in our sun's conquest to elevate consciousness throughout the universe. But what we're seeing here is that we have a very large coronal hole, almost in the shape and size of either a question mark or Florida. But you can see 4436 right around that region. It's almost hugging that region. So the effects over here, we are going to see a glancing blow here, probably early evening or late evening on Tuesday. Also coronal holes developing in the southern hemisphere of the sun, number 52, and then there's one that is on the very bottom. So we have these coronal hole high-speed streams that are still coming in and influencing geomagnetic conditions. So we're getting geomagnetic storms continuously because of these coronal holes. Here's our Enlil graph. This shows us the density and velocity and timing of when these CMEs erupt and when they're going to be heading our way, if they're even in the Parker spiral at all. So you can see that we may be getting again a developing geomagnetic storm late on Tuesday evening, but the majority and the bulk of that plasma is heading off of the limb of the sun and not Earth directed. But as you can see, that was a very powerful CME. Look at that, very high in velocity, but you can see it's not too much density there. There's a little spike there that's going to be passing through that region, but obviously not Earth directed, but interesting enough to take note of how these things develop and move. This is our 3-day geomagnetic forecast as of right now. Again, we're not getting much of anything today, May 11th, May 12th, and the 13th, though. We're going to be going into active to unsettled conditions. So we're looking at high latitude position. There's a 50-50 chance that you may see an aurora, but the probabilities will go up if we do have more solar flares that develop. And here's the energy we're seeing, because Pluto is in Aquarius. We have this collapse of these structures. The old system's gone, okay? Tech is ruling everything. Social media is the new media. AI is taking over in videos and in analytical everything. You know, you're seeing this. This is the collective consciousness. We have Neptune still in Aries, big spiritual awakenings. Everybody's going through it. You're seeing the second wavers, like, realize that aliens exist and now they can't get their minds off of it. I'm seeing the videos. I'm feeling their energy. I'm tapping in. The collective is like, what the fuck energy is going on? And it's bold. And yet again, yes, identity based with Neptune and Aries. This is very strong. But we just had Uranus that went into Gemini. This is where all that communication shifts. This is the biggest shift within 2026, is when Uranus moved into Gemini, because everything changed. There's like no going back, and they dreaded that moment. So your nervous system may feel out of whack because everything's going on so fast. Everything is speeding up. You're seeing those internet narratives. The media is pushing that disclosure aspect. We got UFO files that were dropped. You know what I mean? So we're sifting through all of this. Saturn and Aries, again, karmic accountability. You know, pay the fuck up. It's time for that. This is an ego. This is the war, the spiritual warfare going on. And new leaders are speaking out and stepping down. This is where humanity rapidly changes its direction. And our moon is in Pisces energy today. So this is going to be amplifying all of this emotional overwhelm that you're having. So crying spells could become of this. You're feeling like you're in this between worlds. Yes, you are. This is a transition phase before we get to the next chapter. The old system's collapsing, but we don't have anything new formed, if that makes sense. So you're having this nostalgia moment that comes up because of this. That's what Pisces kind of does. It's very dreamy energy, but it's very emotionally absorbed energy. But this is the collective, and we're sensing things, of course, before they happen. And we have Mercury here in Taurus and Neptune here in Aries. So we have this foggy, weird confusion, which is why they're dropping everything, the UFO files right now, because this is where all of the fantasy kind of comes into play. They want to confuse you with a lot of different things, but we're having the truth surface anyway, because that's what our Pluto is doing here. So yet again, uncertainty in the financial system because of this. If you're having communication glitches, it's not new. It's happening to me too. People are going to be exposing lies. There's going to be confusion all over the place. And because Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius right now, this is what is ruling it all. This is ruling the rebellion. This is ruling the collective consciousness. This is the new media narrative. Pluto here rules your shadow work. It's the truth. It's death. It's rebirth. It's literally collapsing things and then building them back up. So again, collectively, this is about the corruption in everything, literally everything. This is about the manipulation in media as well. This is huge. You know, AI ethics are concerned because people are taking advantage of other people. As you can see, there's lots of scam accounts out there. Huge, big problem. Okay, we also have all of this hidden shit behind all of it, and everybody's in on it. And if you're not in on it, you're pissed about it and you got shut out. And they don't care about you. So they're literally taking advantage of the human population, and these control systems are now collapsing because everybody's in on it. Everybody knows. It's being brought to light. There's a massive informational shift that's happening with communication and how we communicate and who we communicate and what we communicate. And we're giving the whistleblowers their platform. We're allowing classified topics to become front page and center. We need this shift. Technology and AI are going to enhance it, but it's also going to put a hinder, because what do you believe? Is your discernment good enough? Collectively, people are feeling unstable financially because everything's collapsing. Everything's too expensive. They're uncertain about their careers because their careers suck. They don't want to work there. It's miserable anyway. You know, so they emotionally are detaching from all of these old things. But again, new opportunities here are going to emerge very, very quickly. There's going to be an alternative income system that does rise. So yes, you may feel exhausted right now. So it's imperative, ground your nervous system. Do not react to this. Watch the patterns and conserve your energy.